Hello. Hi students. Today I am going to discuss few important questions for IIT JEE from the topics of states of matter and solid state. The first question is a 2.24 liter cylinder of oxygen at 1 atmosphere and 273 Kelvin is found to develop a leakage. When the leakage was plugged, the pressure dropped to 570 mm of Hg. The number of moles of gas that escaped will be. So what are the parameters given here is 2.24 liter cylinder at 1 atmosphere and 273 kelvins. That I have written here. 2.24, 1 atmosphere, 273 kelvins. This got leakage. When you applied the plug, plugging, the pressure dropped to 570 mm of Hg. So here 1 atmosphere is given initially, that means it is 760 mm of Hg equal to, it is dropped to 570, that means it is the P1 and this is P2. 22.4 liter of oxygen means it is 1 mole, but the given is 2.24 liter, that means it is equal to 0.1 mole. So what they are asking, the number of moles of gas that is escaped. Initial number of moles is 0.1 mole and escaped gas you have to find out now. That means you should find the final number of moles, and after getting final number of moles you have to do initial minus final. That is your answer. So this is purely based on ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT. Here we have nothing to do with the volume or and T. They are talking about only pressure and number of moles relation. So P is directly proportional to N. If you change this into P1 by N1 is equal to P2 by N2, you know what is P1, 760, P2 is 570, initial number of moles is 0.1 and the final number of moles you have to find. From this you will get N2 is equal to 0.075. So they are asking not the final number of moles, but they are asking the number of moles of the gas escaped. Number of moles of gas escaped is nothing but initial minus final number of moles is equal to 0.025. So your answer is A, 0.025. Next question is, which of the following curve is correct for an ideal gas? They have given 4 different options. Okay, from this you have to choose. Here the graph is given in between pressure versus volume at N90 constant. So you have to take pressure versus volume relation from ideal gas equation. So pressure is inversely proportional to V you are getting, but it is given here when N and T are constant. If you cancel both N and T, that means RL real gas constant, all get cancelled out. You are getting a relation between pressure versus 1 by V, but not a pressure versus volume. So this graph is wrong. Now when V and N are constant, if you try to plot a graph between pressure versus T, when V and N both constants, so here between pressure and T you are getting an axis going through the origin, but it is a down slope, negative slope it is given, so this is also wrong. Option C, when V and T are constants, you are getting a plot between P and N as this, it is going through the origin. V and T and are constant, so it is in the form of y is equal to mx, so it is going through the origin, so it is matching. So option C is correct. What about option D? Pressure and number of moles constant, volume versus 1 by T given here. So if pressure and N or all are constant, V is directly proportional to T, but it is given inversely proportional. So this is also wrong option. Your answer is C. Now the third question is, look at this. At 0 degree centigrade and 1 atmospheric pressure, a gas occupies 100 centimeter cube cc. If the pressure is increased to 1.5 times and the temperature increased by 1/3 of absolute temperature, then the final value of the gas will be, okay, initial volume is given, initial pressure given, initial temperature is given. What is changing? Pressure is increasing to 1.5 times and temperature is increases to 1/3 of initial time absolute temperature. Then what is the final value? So your options are this. So if you do these substitutions, So what is given earlier? T1 temperature absolute. To this temperature 1/3 is increasing. So it is T plus 1 by 3T. So the final temperature is 4 by 3T. Initially P1 pressure is increased to 1/2 time of this. So it is P into P1 by 2. So it is final pressure is 3 by 2 into P. Now initial volume is given already, final volume you have to find. So N, you have nothing to do with the number of moles and universal gas constant, so both get constant. So PV is directly proportional to T. Now if you change this into two different situations, now V2 is equal to, you have to find V2, right? Now V2 is equal to this value. So substitute P1 is equal to P1, T1 is equal to T1. What is changing? Temperature and pressure are changing. Temperature is, final temperature is 4 by 3 T1 and in final pressure is 3 by 2 P1. So T1, P1, T1, T1 gets cancels. So if you solve this, you are getting 88.89 centimeter cube is the answer. So your answer is option B, option second one. Second one is the correct answer here. Okay. Now the fourth question. Look at the fourth question. 100 grams of a gas at 1 atmosphere, 100 grams of a gas at 1 atmosphere and 273 Kelvin. Here, 100 grams of a gas at 1 atmosphere and 273 Kelvin occupies 5 liters. It is how much? It is 10 grams only. Okay, 10 grams of gas is given and 1 atmosphere and 273 Kelvin, and it is occupying how much volume? 5 liters. The temperature at which the volume becomes double. That means you have to find the temperature. The temperature at which the volume becomes double for the same mass of the gas at same pressure. That means same pressure, same mass is given. You have to find the final temperature. Okay, what is the data given? I have written here as it is. Now T2 you have to find. Now from again ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT, and they are talking about weights. So I'll take number of moles as weight by molecular weight. Now molecular weight you have nothing to do with this, and same 10 grams, and they are also mentioning that same mass of the gas. So both W and gram molecular weight gets cancelled out. Here it is taken, but it is neglected again because grams were, they have given grams in the question. So now PV is directly proportional to WT. You can cancel same grams means same mass means W also gets cancelled. Now PV is directly proportional to T. Now if you change this into PV by T is equal to some constant. So you have to write P1 by V1, P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. You have to find the final temperature, right? So if you do this calculation, substitute those values, substitute the values like P1, V1, T2 values, all the values you can substitute, you will get, look at this, if you substitute these values over here, you are looking for T2, right? Now T2 is equal to, what way we have to write? T2 is equal to P2 V2 T1 by P1 V1. Is it clear? P2 V2 1 by P1. So do that calculation. What you are going to get is the answer. I have substituted these values. All the values are given here. Substitute there. I will substitute what is P2. P2 is, again pressure is also same, right? If the pressure is also same, I will substitute 1 atmospheric pressure. Volume V2 is 10 and T1 is 273 Kelvins it is, by what is P1, 1 atmosphere again, and volume is again what is the volume given? It is V1 is how much? 5 liters. So if you do this calculation, what you are going to get is 546 kelvins. 546 kelvins, is there any answer of 546? It is degree centigrade, but the answer is in kelvins. So if you remove 273 from this, what you are going to get? You will get 273 degree centigrade. 273 degree centigrade means what is your answer? Option C is right answer. Okay, this is your fourth question. Next one, look at this question. A box of 1 liter capacity is divided into 2 equal compartments. 1 liter capacity box is given, divided into 2 equal compartments by a thin portion, which are filled with 2 grams of hydrogen in the first one and 16 grams of methane in the second one. The pressure in each compartment is recorded as P atmosphere. In both the compartments, the pressure is P. The total pressure when partition is removed will be, if this partition is removed, what is the P total? So for P total, it is based on Dalton's law of partial pressures. What is the formula? P total is equal to P1x1 plus P2 into x2 and so on. But they are talking about only 2 gases. Will confine to P1x1 plus P2x2 only. Now x1 is equal to N1 by N1 plus N2 and x2 is equal to N2 by N1 plus N1. Here you have to find partial pressures they have given, it is P atmosphere. But you have to find the mole fraction of the first gas, that means hydrogen suppose. So it is given 2 grams. 2 grams means equal to 1 mole. So here 1 mole of that by 1 plus and 16 grams of methane is also given, that is equal to again 1 mole. So it is also 1. So it is equal to 1 by 2. That means listen. Actually power gone. Now x1 is equal to, it is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 means 0.5 is a mole fraction of the first one. Now x2 is equal to, again number of moles of second one is also 1 mole. So it is 1 by 1 is equal to 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5. Now substitute these values here. Okay. P total is equal to, what is the partial pressure is P and the number of moles, mole fraction is 0.5. And here also P into 0.5. So what you are going to get? Total it is P. So what is your answer? Here P, 2P, P by 2, P by 4. Your answer is A. So this is based on Dalton's law of partial pressures. Next question is, we will discuss the next question. The next question is, at room temperature, Dalton's law of partial pressure is not applicable to. Dalton's law of partial pressure is not applicable to. What is Dalton's law? Dalton's law is about, it is applicable for non-reacting gases only. It is applicable for non-reacting gases only. So here hydrogen and chlorine are easily reacting gases. Hydrogen, nitrogen at room temperature, that does not react. Hydrogen and carbon dioxide also does not react. So hydrogen and chlorine only reacts. So that is your answer. Dalton's law is, what is, it is a negative question, not applicable for. Your answer is 2. Next one, 7th question. 56 grams of nitrogen and 96 grams of oxygen are mixed isothermally and at a total pressure of 10 atmosphere. So what is the data given? 56 nitrogen 2 moles, it is equal to 28 grams of nitrogen is equal to 1 mole. It is given 66 grams. So it is 2 moles and 18 grams of 32 grams of oxygen is equal to 1 mole. But here 96 means 3 moles and the P total given is 10 atmospheres. What is the question? The partial pressure of oxygen and nitrogen are respectively. So here it is 2 parts given, it is 3 parts given. You have to find the partial pressure of oxygen first. Partial pressure of oxygen is equal to the number of moles of that by total number of moles. That means it is mole fraction of X2 into P total, nothing but. So here partial pressure of oxygen is equal to, partial pressure of oxygen is equal to the, so here mole fraction of O2 means what? Number of moles of that by total number of moles. Total number of moles is 5. So it is 2 by 5 into P total is how much? 10. So it becomes, it is 4. And partial pressure of nitrogen is equal to 3 parts by total parts 5 into 10. How much it becomes? 6. So what is your answer? 4, 6 is your answer. Okay. Next one. Here 2 flasks. 2 flasks A and B have equal volumes. So I have written A and B which are having same volume VV. A is maintained at 300 kelvins, and B is maintained at 600 kelvins. A contains hydrogen gas, A contains hydrogen gas here, and B has an equal mass of carbon dioxide. It is having equal mass of carbon dioxide. What is the question? Find the ratio of total kinetic energy of the gases in flask A to that of B. So what you have to find is the kinetic energy ratio. You have to find Ke, kinetic energy of A gas by kinetic energy of B gas. So if you write kinetic energy formula, kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 into nRT. So kinetic energy is equal to, now what they have given, they were talking about masses. Here it is equal mass and some temperatures they have given. That's it. So in this formula you should make sure that they are present only masses. Here it is in the place of m you can write weight by molecular weight. Is it clear? Weight by molecular weight if you write to T, and you have nothing to do with the mass weight also. They are talking about mass, and this is a constant. So kinetic energy is directly proportional to T by m. So if you write kinetic energy of the gas A by kinetic energy of gas B is equal to what it's going to, you can write it as T1 by m1 into m2 by T2. Is that clear? Now the ratio T1 is how much? 300 kelvins, and m1 is how much? Hydrogen gas molecular weight is 2, and m2 molecular weight of carbon dioxide is 44, by T2 is how much? 600. Do this calculation. It is 2 to the 4, right? 4 11s. That means it is 11:1. What's your answer? 11:1. So your answer is 2 here. Next question. Next question is, 4 particles have speed 2, 3, 4 and 5 centimeter per second respectively. Their RMS speed is. So here what is RMS speed? CRMS is equal to under root of, I'll write the formula. RMS, root mean square. How many gases are there? 4 gases. 1, 2, 3, 4. So first I'll write their speeds U1 plus U2 plus U3 plus U4. Root I have given. Mean means here are the 4 gases, so I'll write by 4, and squares 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 gases squares. So this is your CRMS formula. So what is the first one? RMS value 2. Speed is 2 centimeter per second. That means it is 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square by 4. How much you are going to get it is? If you do this calculation, you will get root 54 by 2 centimeter per second. So what is your answer here? Answer 4 is the right answer. Answer 4 is correct. Next one. Next, look at this question. A gas obeys equation of state P into V minus B is equal to RT. The parameter B is constant. The slope for an isochore will be. So what is given is, the given value formula is equation P into V minus B is equal to RT. Now they are talking about what is the slope for an isochore. Isochore means what? Isochore means volume is constant. Okay, volume is constant. If you write PV is equal to nRT formula, okay, PV is equal to nRT formula, volume is constant, number of moles they are not talking about it, so I make it constant. R is also constant. So you have to draw a plot between pressure versus temperature, isn't it? So just change this pressure versus temperature. Now P is equal to RT by V minus B. Okay, now I'll write it as P is equal to R by V minus B into T plus 0. Same thing, right? Now it is in the form of Y is equal to mx plus C. Here intercept is 0, no problem. Now plot a graph for this. Pressure on Y axis, temperature on X axis. Now it is in the form of Y is equal to mx going through the origin. Now what is the slope here? The slope you have found is R by V minus B. So your answer is 3. Got it? Next, for a gas deviation from ideal behavior is maximum at. So generally it is a theoretical based question. Ideal gas and real gas. I will explain this concept in 1 minute. Okay, an ideal gas deviates from its behavior at high pressure and low temperature. High pressure and low temperature. A real gas behaves as an ideal gas at low pressure and high temperature. The question is deviation from ideal behavior. Ideal gas is converting into real gas. So what is the concept here? At high pressure and low temperature you have to choose. So from this, what is high pressure? High pressure condition, these two. High pressure and low temperature. Here it is a low temperature, this is high temperature. So your answer is high pressure low temperature combination. Your answer is option 4. Okay. Next one. At low pressures, van der Waals equation is written as P plus A by V square into V is equal to RT. The compressibility factor is equal to, what is compressibility factor? Z. You have to find what is Z for this. Okay, let's do this. By P plus A by V square into V is equal to RT, then multiply P inside, PV plus A by V is equal to RT. Bring R onto this side, it becomes PV by RT plus A by VRT is equal to 1, and this value is equal to Z. Z, what is compressibility factor? Z is equal to PV by RT. Now Z plus A by RTV is equal to 1. Now Z is equal to what? 1 minus A by RTV. This question is based on compressibility factor. So what is your answer? 1 minus A by RTV is your answer. That is option 1. Is it clear? Next question we'll discuss is wait a second. This is the next question. The neon gas, can you see this? The neon gas atoms have a radius of 160 picometers. What is radius given? 160 picometers. Solution I am doing here. 160 picometers. And what is the edge of the unit cell? Edge means you have to find the edge length A. The unit cell is present in FCC structure. That means FCC. FCC means in FCC 4R is equal to root 2a. 4r is equal to root 2a. They have given r and you have to find a. So here a is equal to 4r by root 2. 4 into r is given 160 by root 2 means 1.414. If you do this, you will get 452.6 picometers. This is nearly equal to 453 picometers. Got it? So this is your answer. Next one is the edge. Each edge of a cubic unit cell is 400 picometer long. That means A is given 400 picometers. If atomic mass of the element is 120, that means M is given 120. And its density is 6.25 grams per centimeter cube. You have to observe carefully. Density is given in grams per centimeter cube. So you have to convert all parameters into centimeters. And the crystal lattice is your options: primitive, body center, face center, edge center. This concept is basically it is on unit cell content. According to unit cell content Z, okay, how many atoms are present in primitive cell? It is only one atom. Body center means you have to get Z value as 2. Face centered means you will get Z value as face centered means 4. Like this you have to get these answers. So you have to find the Z value. Based on the Z value you can find which unit cell or which crystal system it is. Okay. So now, so what is the parameters given? I have taken here. Now rho is equal to Zm by a cube into Na. Now you have to find Z. Z is equal to rho into Na into Avogadro number into a cube by m. They have given side length is 400 picometers and density is given in centimeters. So you have to convert these picometers into centimeters. So A is given here 400 picometers. 1 picometer is equal to 10 power minus 10 centimeters. So in the place of picometer, if you write 10 power minus 10 centimeters, so it is 4 into 400, right? So 4 into 10 square into 10 power minus 10 converted to 10 power 4 into 10 power minus 8 centimeters. Substitute those values here in this formula. Z is equal to rho into Avogadro number into a cube by m. These all values given here. So here density is 6.25 gram per centimeter cube. Here 6. What is 6 here? Avogadro number. 6 into 10 power 23 Avogadro number. And 4 into 10 power minus 8 is e cube power 3. So now if you do this calculation, 6.625 into 6, this is nothing but 37.5 into, this is 10 power 23 and it is 4 cube, that means it becomes 64 into 10 power minus 24, right, by 120. Now this is an easy calculation. If you multiply these two, 37.5 into 64, it becomes 2400 into, this is 10 power minus 1, right, by 120. So here 10 power minus 1, 0 cancel, this 0, 0 cancel, it is 2 times. So Z is equal to 2. Z is equal to means it is a body centered cubic unit cell. Z is equal to means body centered. So your answer is 2. Okay. Next one. Predict the coordination number of cation in crystals of the following compounds. Okay. In magnesium oxide, here radius of cation is given, radius of anion. So this question purely based on conceptual, that is radius ratio rule concept. So look at these two. Cation radius is given, anion radius is given. Cation and anion. If you do radius of cation by radius of anion, you will get some value. If that value falls in, look at this concept. This is radius ratio rule. This is radius ratio rule, radius of cation by radius of anion. If the range radius of cation and anion ratio is falls in this range, if it is less than 0.155, its coordination number is 2 and its structure is linear. If it falls in 0.155 to 0.225, coordination number is 3, it is having trigonal planar geometry. This is the ranges of ratio rule, radius ratio rule. So what you simply do is you have to calculate cation radius by anion radius. So based on that range, you will identify which coordination number it follows. Okay, which coordination number it follows, that you can easily find that. So what I am doing here is radius of cation by radius of anion. First one, what is radius of cation given? 0.65 by 1.40. It becomes 0.46 around 0.46. And this is first one. 0.46 means in which range it falls? 0.46. Look at this. 0.46 means here it is 0.46 between coordination number 6. Between these values it follows octahedral. So what is the coordination number? Coordination number is 6. Coordination number I am writing here. Coordination number is 6, the first one. And what about the second one? So what about the second one? This one, magnesium sulfide. Radius of cation by radius of anion. It is 0.65 by 1.84. How much it becomes? It becomes 0.35 something. 0.35. What is the coordination number? Check it. 0.35 means coordination number falls in this range. So coordination number is 4. Radius falls in this range. It follows tetrahedral. So what is the coordination number here? Coordination number for this is 4. So your answer is first one 6, second one 4. So where it will match in these options? 4, 6, 6, 4, 4, 6 like this. So your answer is 6, 4. Option A is correct. Okay. This is next one. 16th question. In a cubic unit cell, 7 of 8 corners. Actually, in a cubic unit cell, how many corners are present? There are 8 corners in the cubic unit cell, isn't it? Out of 7 are occupied by atoms A, and each corner shares between 8 other unit cells. Its contribution is only 1 by 8. So this is about atom A. And the centers of the faces. How many faces are there? 6 faces are there in a cubic unit cell. And each center is contribution is half, 1 by 2 is equal to how much it becomes? It becomes 3, right? So now they are asking the general form of the compound is, what is A? A is 7 by 8 and B is 3. Now I'll write here A 7 by 8, B 3. What is your answer? A 7, B 24. Multiply here 8, bring it to this side. So what is your answer here? A 7, B 24. Your option is 3 is correct. Next one is a binary solid AB. Look at the question. A binary solid AB has a rock salt structure. Rock salt structure means nothing but sodium chloride structure. If the edge length means A is given 400 picometers and the radius of the cation is given how much? 80 picometers. The radius of the anion they are asking. So in FCC structure, binary cell sodium chloride, 4R is equal to A, isn't it? Now 4R means it is 2 cations, 2 anions. Shall I write like this? Radius of cation plus radius of anion is equal to A. Now R plus R minus is equal to A by 2. Now radius of cation is given, A is given. Substitute over there. Radius of cation is how much? Radius of cation is given how much? Radius of cation is 80 plus R minus is equal to 400 by 2. Now R minus is equal to, it is 200 minus 80. How much you are going to get? 120 picometers. So what is your answer? Your answer is 2. Okay. Next one is, for a solid, look at the question here. For a solid with the structure shown in the figure, the coordination numbers of the point A and B they are giving. So you have to clearly observe here point A and B. Here blue color atoms are A and this green color atoms are B. Okay. If you clearly observe atoms A talking about atoms A. Atoms A are at, you have to find the coordination number simply. Atoms A are occupying all the corners and face center. Atoms A are occupying all the corners plus face centers. That means, say it is anions. A atoms are anions. That means it is following FCC or CCP. Both are same. FCC or CCC lattice. Okay. That means okay, A atoms are anions and corners and faces FCC or CCP lattice it is. Next, atoms B I am talking about. Atoms B, say they are cations, and if you observe atoms B, they are all present at edge centers. Atoms B are at edge centers. Edge centers are nothing but, they are nothing but octahedral holes. Octahedral holes. They are nothing but. If you clearly observe A and B, they both cations are following, okay, FCC and CCP, and anions are at edge centers, nothing but octahedral holes. So it is exactly this cation and anion are following sodium chloride structure. So, and you know that in sodium chloride structure, the coordination number of cation is 6 and coordination number of anion is 6. So it is this structure resembling the sodium chloride structure. In that, cations and anions coordination numbers are 6, 6. So your answer is option 3. Option 3 is correct. Next one. This is 19th question. The composition of a sample of woodsite if iron 0.93, iron is not 1 mole, it is 0.93 and 1 oxygen. So they are non-stoichiometric compounds. What is the percentage of iron that is present as iron plus 3 in total iron? So total irons are how many? 0.93. So 0.93 is looking little awkward, so I will make it into big numbers. 0.93 into 1 oxygen is there, right? I will multiply this whole thing with 100. It becomes iron 93 and oxygen 100 atoms. What is their question? The iron present in plus 3 in total irons. How many total irons are there? 93 total irons are there. In that, how many irons are present in plus 3 oxidation state? That is a question. You have to find it. So what I'll do is, I'll say some atoms. Let us assume that, okay, iron plus 2 atoms are present or some X. What about remaining? Plus 3 atoms, remaining all plus 3, right? Remaining all means 93 minus X atoms are present in plus 3 oxidation state. This is the logic here. Now try to find the regular oxidation state of this. It is iron 93, oxygen 100, right? Now in this iron 93, how many atoms are in plus 2 oxidation state? X atoms. So plus 2 oxidation state atoms are X. And plus 3 oxidation state atoms are how many? 93 minus X. So I will do 93 minus X. Plus how many oxygen atoms are there? 100. Oxygen general oxidation state is minus 2. So minus 2 into 100. This whole is equal to 100. 0. So now if you do this calculation, it becomes 2x plus 279 minus 3x minus 200 is equal to 0. Now it becomes 79 minus x is equal to 0. Now x is equal to how much? 79. Here what is x actually? Plus 2 atoms are 79. Iron which is present in iron plus 2 atoms are you are getting 79. What about remaining? If you want to get to plus 3, you can substitute here 93 minus 79. How much you are going to get? It is 14. These 14 atoms are present in plus 3 oxidation state. Okay, 14 atoms are present in plus 3 oxidation state. But what is the question? Percentage of irons present in plus 3. Okay, so I'll find percentage of atoms in plus 3. Percentage means how many atoms are there? 14. By total number of atoms, 93 into 100. How much you are going to get? It is around 15.05. Okay, Sometimes they can also ask you plus 2 atoms total percentage. You can also do it extra. Okay, how many atoms are there? 79 in plus 2 by total number of atoms into 93 is into 100 is equal to how much it is? Remaining percentage. So this is your answer. But the question asked is only about the plus 3 oxidation state. Plus 3 oxidation state percentage. How much you are getting? 15.05. 15.05. So your answer is 1. Next one about ferromagnetism. So in the you know that magnetic magnetisms are different type: paramagnetic, diamagnetic, and ferri, antiferro. Right? So here, if all ferromagnetism means which, okay, this is about ferromagnetism. Actually, the question is about ferri, I think, ferrimagnetism. So I'll slightly change it. Ferrimagnetism. So ferrimagnetism means what? Ferro means which are strongly attracted by the magnetism, very strongly attracted by magnetism. Okay, that means all the domains are upside only, or that means all domains are one side. This each domain or each electron is considered as a tiny magnet. Okay, so they are all on the one side, so they are very strongly attracted by the magnet. Next one is antiferromagnetism. This indicates actually antiferromagnetism. One is upside, other one is downside. That means alternate, alternate upside, alternate downside. So they get cancel each other, total magnetic moment is 0. And in ferrimagnetism, there is no particular order for this. Few are upside and few are downside, but not exactly. This type are called ferrimagnetic substances. So what is your answer? You are talking about ferrimagnetism. So answer is 3. Next one is here. This is a question. Potassium chloride crystallizes in the same type of lattice as does sodium chloride. Given that RNA plus by RCl minus is equal 0.50 and RNA plus by RK plus is equal 0.70. Calculate the ratio of the side of the unit cell for KCl is. Ratio of the side of the unit cell for KCl to that of sodium chloride. So what you actually found is, what they are asking us to find is the ratio of the side of the unit cells, right? That means here I'll write simply here what to find. Radius of KCl to that of sodium chloride, right? This thing you have to find from the given data. What is the data given to you? They have given only two things, this one and this one. From these two you have to find this value. Okay, so first one they have given is RNA plus by RCl minus. This is given to you, and I will do plus 1 on both sides. It will become RNA plus RCl minus by RCL minus equal 1.5. I call it as equation 1. And the second one given is this. Second one, this is given to us. This I will change it to here. RNA means what? RNA, from this RNA is equal to 0.5 into RCl minus. Can I write like this? So I'll substitute in this. So you will get RK plus by RCl minus is equal to 5 by 7. This value is from this equation. Okay, 5 by 7 you are getting. For this also, what I will do is I will add plus 1 on both sides. I will add plus 1 on both sides. It become 5 by 7 plus 1. So it will become this. I call it as equation 2. Okay, equation 2. So what happens now? I'll do equation 2 by equation 1. I'll do equation 2 by equation 1. What happens now? Cl minus gets cancelled. What is left over? This is 12 by 7 by 1.5. So overall what you are going to get is radius of K plus plus radius of Cl minus by radius of Na plus plus radius of Cl minus is equal to how much? It is 12 by 10.5. It becomes 1.1428, it is nearly equal to 1.143. Okay, so what is your answer? This we are looking for, right? You got 1.143. so your answer is your answer is 1. Okay, so this is your 21 question. Next one, taking 22 question. Here is the question. It reads like this. Very important model this is. How many nearest and next to nearest neighbors respectively does potassium have in BCC structure? Nearest and next to nearest you have to do. So about BCC they are talking about. I have drawn a BCC lattice structure. Okay, in BCC atoms are present at 8 corners and 1 atom at the body center. So what is the first nearest atom? So you have to find the distance from this. I am taking this atom as a standard one. From this I will compare the nearest and next nearest atoms. From here to here, what is the distance? Side length A. Okay. Now from here to here, what is the distance? It is A. This is also A. That means this will come as root 2A, isn't it? Root 2A. And this is called phase diagonal, that is root 2A. This atom, this is a body diagonal because it is touching body central atom. So body diagonal, what is the distance? It is root 3A. This is body diagonal. Body diagonal. Okay. So now what are the nearest distance atoms you have? First one you are getting is A, and other one is root 3A, root 2A, and other one is root 3A. It is root 3A, but nearest atom is body center atom, not this atom. So it is total is root 3A, and off is root 3A by 2. Off of the body diagonal. So these are the nearest atoms. So if you write this value, it is A. In all the cases A you have, or you cancel all the A's. It is 1, it is root 2, it is root 3. That means 1.732. 1.732 by 2. That means 0.8 nearly you are getting, right? So what is the nearest atom in these three? The smallest value. The smallest value is 0.8. That is nothing but root 3 by 2. That means to this corner atom, your nearest atom is body central atom. Your nearest atom is body center atom. Okay. Nearest atom is body center atom. So body center atom is in how much distance? It is root 3A by 2. That means each corner here, I have already written this. It is a BCC lattice, 8 atoms at the corners. Each corner atom or one corner atom is shared by 8 unit cells. That means to each corner atom, the number of nearest neighbors is equal to 8. That 8 atoms are in the distance of root 3A by 2. That means it is off of the body diagonal. So nearest atom is in how much distance? Root 3A by 2 distance. Next one is how many atoms are nearest neighbors? 8. So one of these answers is correct, A or B. Next to nearest atoms you have to find. To find next to nearest atoms, what is the next nearest atom? A, root 2A, root 3A by 2. Next to nearest, it is 1.414, right? So next to nearest is A distance. That means I am taking this atom. So this, suppose I am taking next to nearest atoms you have to find, right? I am taking this atom as the standard atom for comparison. To this next to nearest atom in a distance is this one, this one, this one. In the adjacent unit cell to this unit cell, if you extend this, you will get another atom at the corner in the next unit cell. Here another atom, and this is another atom. So I am taking this atom as a standard one. To this, all of them are in a distance. So how many such atoms are there? 6 atoms are there. So here next to nearest neighbors is in distance of A. How many such atoms are there? 6 atoms. Okay, 6 atoms are next to nearest. So what is your answer? Your answer is 8, 6. Your answer is 8, 6. Option 2 is correct one. Is it clear? Next one. If the radius of chloride ion is 181 picometers and radius of sodium ions is 101 picometers. Then the edge length of the unit cell is, okay, what is given? Sodium plus is 101 picometers, Cl minus is 181 picometers. Okay, now again same formula, 4R is equal to A. You can do 4R is equal to A. You will get the answer. You will get A value. Same way we have done just. Okay, do this. Okay, you will get the answer. Your answer is 564 picometers. You try to solve this question. 564 picometers. So what is here? You can write this as 2 times of R plus and R minus is equal to A. You have to find the edge length, right? That means A you have to find. Do this. Next question is here. This is the interesting one. The number of atoms present in HCP unit lattice is. Question is the number of atoms present in HCP unit lattice is. This is your HCP structure, hexagonal. It is type of ABC layer arrangement. What is HCP? HCP you can write like this. HCP is nothing but it is ABC type of arrangement. So this is your actual structure of HCP. Okay. In this HCP, if you observe this, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 atoms are present at the corners. 6 atoms are present at the corners. And here in the bottom layer also 6 atoms are present at the corners. And these are all hexagons. Hexagonal cubic close packing, right? Hexagons. That means each atom at corner. How many corner atoms are there total? 6. Here 6 atoms and in bottom layer also 6. Total 12 corner atoms are there. Since it is an hexagon, their contribution is only 1 by 6. So you will get there are 2 corner atoms present in it. Next one is in the body center. In the body center atom, there are 3 body center atoms are there and their contribution is fully belongs to this hexagon. Okay. Next one, atoms are present at face. Look at this. One atom is at this face and the face atoms contributes only half of this their volumes. So it is 2 into 1 by 2. How much you will get? 1. So now corner atoms. Total atoms how many now? How many total atoms are present in HCP? HCP total atoms. It is 2 corner atoms, 3 body atoms, 1 face atom. Total it becomes 6. So what is your answer? Your answer is 6. Option 2 is correct. Next 25 question is, in the closest to packing of atoms A and B, the radius of atoms, okay, the radius of atoms B that can be filled into tetrahedral void is. Simply they are asking what is tetrahedral void volume. So there is a very big derivation is there that I will post in my next video. So for time consumption I will do like this: radius of cation by radius of anion in this is for tetrahedral void, it is equal to 0.225. okay, so it is given here radius of cation is equal to 0.225 radius of anion. I'll bring it to this side. So this is your answer. Okay, this is radius of A is radius of anion. They are asking B means it is an anion. So with respect to anion, what is your answer? Your answer is 2. Okay, and in octahedral voids, if I'll write octahedral void, in your octahedral void, radius of cation by radius of anion is equal to, the value is 0.414. This is the size in angstroms. The octahedral void is always bigger than the tetrahedral void. So radius of cation is equal to 0.414 times of radius of anion. Okay, so this is your the top 25 questions from solid state and states of matter. Thank you students. Thank you for watching this video.